I'm doing today is I felt called to lead a healing meditation on moving through emotional density and coming back to where it is that you prefer to be right now. As we're landing here, I invite you to get comfortable. We'll be here for about 25 minutes. So very short in the grand scheme of things, very short amount of time. And I can feel the intensity, whether you're here or not. So let yourself just begin to breathe. Meaning that I'm inviting you to put as much of your focus and attention on the breath, on the breathing process. So inhale, watch how the body moves. Exhale. Notice all of the sensations that go with the breathing process. Find a comfortable place to sit or to lie down. We are focusing on the breathing process. I invite you not to change it at all, not to try to make it deeper or longer or better. Just bring your full awareness as a benevolent observer of your own breathing. And in this moment, in this brief time that we will be together here, 25 minutes, 20, 25 minutes, I invite you to be curious and to wonder if it's possible that you can stay fully present here. Lay down the thoughts that are causing or part of intense emotional feelings right now that feel like suffering, in fact. Just inhale, exhale, not changing a thing. Right now, in our country, in our communities, on the planet, there's a lot happening, obviously. Unprecedented times, we keep hearing this. These are unprecedented times. And the anger and frustration, rightly so, is pretty keyed up this week. And so what I invite you to do is to allow that, to accept that if you are feeling that, in addition to anxieties and guilt, sadness, that you let it be okay that you're feeling that. You don't make it wrong or bad. Whether you are in a place of rage, irritation, anything in between, let that be okay. Inhale and exhale. And if you are aware of the stories in your mind about the emotional state that you feel most intensely right now, whether it is something along the continuum of rage to irritation or anxiety, fear, guilt, grief, whatever it may be, what is keeping that state quite anchored in right now. And I invite you to be curious. So here is the story. Here is what's happened. Here is the reality that is contributing to me staying in this emotional state right now. Right now. Imagine that you pull that story up out of your heart, out of your brain, and for now, we are just going to set it on the chair next to you, on the table next to you. Let it be. And be curious. See if you can access, put your finger on what it is that you would like to be feeling now instead of the emotional state that's causing contraction and suffering. And obviously, the alternative emotional state exists in your experience. You've felt that before, how you would like to be feeling. So I invite you to begin breathing in through the top of the head. If you've worked with me before, you've attended my meditations, you know that it's nice and balancing to start by bringing in light and energy in through this very highest point on your head, bringing it into the center of the brain. And as you exhale, exhale out in all directions. Inhale now into the heart. As you exhale, you're going to inhale from the sternum into the heart, into the lungs. Exhale out the back of the body. As you do this, imagine that you are exhaling out the area behind the heart and up between the shoulder blades also. Imagine this big vent is opening up on the back of the body. Exhale out, imagining that you're pulling off tightness and frustration. It doesn't mean that you still don't honor what brought you to that emotional state. But in this moment, what would it be like to drop the anchor lines attached to that dense emotion? Exhale out the back of the body. Inhale into the heart, noticing where there's tension. Where there feels like contraction. Exhale out the back of the body. Inhale into the lower part of the belly below the navel. Inhale, letting the belly fill up with breath, like there's a balloon in the belly. Inhale, fill the breath, fill the belly with the breath. Exhale, let the balloon deflate and then let the belly surface drop back towards the spine. Inhale, again, let the belly inflate as though there's a balloon below the navel and it's pooching out. Exhale, let the belly drop. Begin now to breathe in through all of your skin. And imagine that as you do this, you are breathing in and opening up the places, the experience of an alternative emotional state that it defines how you would choose in this moment to be moving through the events that are happening now, the events that have happened this week, the events of the last few months. What is that emotional state that would bring less suffering, more happiness, more peace? Maybe it is peace. Breathe in, see if you can find in your body where that alternative emotion is sitting today. Maybe you feel a place that wants to open. It might be a place that feels tight right now. It might be a place that feels tingly. Inhale. In through all the skin, let the breath and light go to the place that wants to open and wants to feel more deeply an alternative, open, emotional state in light of what's happening in our realities this week, today, over the last few months, tomorrow. What way do you choose to move through what's happening? How will you be? How will you be in your mind, in your body, in your spirit, in your soul? And breathe in through all of the skin, imagining that you are opening up that space to remember it again. Remember how to get there. I have no doubt that this is possible for each and every one of us. Continue to breathe in through all the skin, noticing what sensations come up as you do this type of breathing. Inhale through all the skin. You're just exhaling out through all the skin like you are a sponge absorbing breath and light in. Choose to rest in the knowing that you can't do this wrong, you can't mess it up. Where we open our hearts to allowing ourselves to feel what we feel, and also to be willing to let things move, not to take anchor, not to get in places that make us feel contracted, tight, anxious. We simply let it go. Feel it, honor, set it down, and wonder how might I also move through this that I'm experiencing. Have compassion for yourself as you navigate what the reality is now, the new normals, the things that you won't accept as normal. And with love, what will be the next steps that you take? What will be the steps that you take in the next half an hour to continue build the practice of moving from an emotional state of density to one of openness, of less suffering? What will you do today? Will it be words that you say? Will it be actions that you take? Will it be a continued choice? Will it be changing a perspective, if even for 30 minutes, for one day? Changing a perspective to remember that you are a sovereign being. Changing a perspective to remember that you and everyone else with compassion is doing the best that they can. What else might be possible for them to live with less suffering? What else might be possible for you to live with less suffering? What is the inspired, intelligent action that you will take today? Continue with tomorrow. What is the one piece that you would like to shift? Small hinges swing big doors. It could be something very small. I will not complain. I will not say mean things to myself. I will be curious when someone speaks words that are harsh and condemning. I will speak up. I will trust. What is your choice today? I will practice my Pangu Shenggong. I will meditate. I will love unconditionally, whatever it is for you. Pick one thing. Be aware of what your story is or your pattern that can get in the way of you doing that one thing. Send love to that pattern. Imagine the wave of it changing. Interrupt that pattern with love and compassion for yourself so that you can choose to put into place a new habit, a new set of mind chatter, a new perspective when faced with things that you don't like or that you hate or that drive you mad. Inhale and exhale through all the skin. We won't speak for a few minutes. Just breathe in through all the skin. Breathe out. Bring in trust and wonder. Remembering the boundlessness of your own heart. Your heart can contain so much. No matter what has happened to shut it down, to tighten it up, we all have the ability to open it again. Inhale through all the skin. Exhale through all the skin. Come back to breathing in through all the skin. If you've lost that visualization, exhale out through all the skin. Imagining for these last few cycles that you are actually pulling in, breathing in, use your imagination, whatever it is that would serve you to carry out your strategy for practicing moving from a dense emotional state to a less dense one. And imagine that as you exhale out, you're exhaling out whatever is no longer serving you. Something that you cannot just set aside for a moment, but actually let go of. Or begin to let go of. Or destroy a connection to that's not enhancing your life. No, thank you. Inhale what you need to serve you the most. Exhale whatever is no longer needed. And begin to come back to just normal breathing. No particular visualization. Just breathe, much like how we started, just noticing your breath. Notice how your body feels in this moment. You're welcome to stay right here quietly, focused on breath, continuing to set aside the things that you notice that when your mind comes across them, that there's tension. I'm very glad to have you here today, or for whatever day you are listening to this. I wish peace and connection to unconditional love and compassion. Trusting that the hearts of the world can open with enough of us wanting that too. Send love out. Thank you all so much. Have a great day.